Hi creatives, Dimma here, and on today's tutorial I'll be putting you through the beautiful way of making this beautiful sleeve that you can see on the screen. I explained the cutting and the sewing of the sleeve. I also went further to illustrate the body of the dress. If this sounds like what you've been interested in knowing how it was done, then you have to come with me as I put you through every process I used to achieve this. Now this is the sleeve. I've already made the basic sleeve pattern, and as usual I use the back pattern. After I have finished cutting, that is when I will trim off a part of the cap. That is for the part that will be going to the front. I hope you understand what I mean. If you are not familiar with making a basic sleeve, I'm going to link it up in the description box so that you can take a look at it. See how I folded the fabric I'll be using. If you want to cut the two at once, you can fold it like that, but I'm going to cut mine one after the other. Okay, always observe the direction of the pattern of your fabric so that you will not be putting the designs upside down. Here I am just trying to let you know see the length of the sleeve, which is about 18 inches. You can measure from the cap like so and drop it to 12 inches, or from the hem like so. I measured 6 inches. I hope you understand. The total length is 18 inches. So here I am marking 6 inches from the hem but 12 inches from the cap. I hope you understand. Now I measured here and it's 6 inches. I'm going to divide this line into 3 equal parts, which is 2 inches, and watch closely how I am going to draw slash lines on this place. I stopped 1.5 inches before the horizontal line I drew earlier, and this last vertical line, this is 1.5 inches from the horizontal line, and this is 3 inches from the horizontal line. I hope you understand. Now I'm going to draw a horizontal line to meet these lines, these vertical lines like so, and that is that. So after drawing that, the next thing I am going to do is to slash and then spread. Watch closely how I'm slashing this. That is how you're going to slash yours also. Just follow the slash lines drawn, and cut it open. Then the next will be to, place it on the fabric and spread it out. You can cut the two sleeves at once if your fabric does not have any direction. I hope you understand what I mean. But if it does, you have to cut your sleeve one after the other to avoid putting any pattern on the fabric upside down or the wrong way. So here is how you're going to place yours and then pin it down. If you want it to be quite full, you can even spread it more than I just did. Okay, I actually thought it's too full for what I want to achieve, and I had to reduce the spread. But you can just feel free to expand it or like spread it as much as you want. So here I spread it by 3/4, 3/4, and then half for this last part. I'm pinning down my patterns in place, and that is all. So what I'm going to do is to through the hem of the sleeve. That is just to connect it to the fold, and here is the main line. You just have to draw it like so with your chalk. I'll go ahead and cut this out, observing my seam or sewing allowance. Here I added 1/2 inch, and this part I added 1 inch. On the hem I added about 3/4 inches. I hope you understand, because elastic will be passing through there. And that is all. I'm just marking the back side of the fabric, because if I don't mark it now, I'll get confused. The back fabric is almost the same in front and back. I'll go ahead and trim that hem part for the front when I'm about fixing the sleeve. I hope you understand. Now the next thing to do is to cut the second sleeve. I'll folded it like so, and I'll be placing the sleeve on it. Somehow I just feel the fabric has a direction, and that's why I just decided to cut it one after the other, following the same direction. But if you have a fabric that you have nothing to worry about, you can cut the two at once. Now I'm also marking the back of the fabric and going ahead to also make my notches. Okay guys, we are on Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram at genjes_couture as well. Okay, so here you can see how I serged the hem of the sleeve and then stitched it down. It's not a very easy thing to do. It's about 3/4 inches, so you can see little pleats. Normally a curved seam like this is best hemmed with 1/4 inch, but because I want to pass an elastic through it, I had to make it bigger, about 1/2 to 3/4 inch, yeah, so that the elastic will pass. Now I don't have 1/2 inch elastic. That is what I'm supposed to use for this project, but I have 1 inch. So watch what I did. I just had to measure what I needed, about 7 inches. Note that this is more like wherever you want this elastic to be on your hand, just measure around there. Watch how I am cutting this open. Okay, measure around where you want it to be on your hand and just remove about 2 inches. That is what you are going to measure on the length of this elastic. I used my safety pin to pass this elastic through the hole that I have created earlier. I didn't know this part was not showing. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, so I passed it and I just stitched it down and serged that rough part. Okay, and this is what I have. You can tell that it's already like the sleeve that you want to achieve. I just did not want mine to be very full. I showed you how you can do it when you want it to be very full. You just spread it more than I did. Okay, I used 3/4, 3/4 and half. You can go ahead and use 1 1 1 or 1 1/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/4 all through. Okay, depending on the fullness you want to achieve. I am talking about the spread. Okay, so this is what I have, and this is the dress that I'll be applying it on, that I'll be stitching it to. I'll go ahead and trim the front side of the sleeve and then attach it to this dress. Now here I have done that, and you can see how beautiful the sleeve is looking. You can see how lovely the sleeve is looking. This is so nice. Guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel at this point, I will implore you to do so that you don't forget, and turn on your notification bell so that you will be the first to see each time that I upload my lovely videos. You will surely be learning a lot in this channel, and you will not regret subscribing to this channel. So here is the dress, as you have seen, and you can see how beautiful it's already looking. I'll go ahead and explain what I did for the body of this dress. I'm going to explain the pattern illustration of this, and yes, with this you will be able to achieve the dress exactly. So here you can see that I have already gone ahead to make the torso foundation. If you don't know how to make a torso foundation, I'll be linking it up in the description box so that you can also look at it. I have it on the channel here, so I'll be linking it up in the description box so that you can go ahead and check out how a torso foundation is made. And with that, you will understand perfectly how I drew this. I did this with a miniature form though. Okay, I did it with a miniature form because I'm just trying to explain what I did for the gown, as I did not cover the main footage while making the dress. Okay, so here you would just have to drop the neck by 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch and just smoothing it to the side neck. I hope you understand. Don't go in on the side, just come down in front, that is by that center front. Okay, for the back it is going to remain the way it is. For the back is going to remain just the way it is. Okay, now the next thing to do is just to place this on a new pattern paper, or you can go ahead and just place on your fabric and continue the alteration. I'm using pattern paper here because I am doing an illustration with pattern paper, but you can go ahead and place this on your fabric and just follow exactly what I am doing here. It's just the same, no difference. Pin it down like so. You have noticed that I have trimmed out the part of the neck that I dropped, that part that I didn't want. I've trimmed it out. So here, this is what I have, and yeah, that is it. I measured from the waistline to the hem and I got 7. Okay, use whatever you got. As I said, this is a miniature form. Come this way and measure the 7. Okay, mark where the 7 is. It's also important to measure how much you spread, as in what I mean is how much you shaped it away from that side. That is just what I did here, and I'll be connecting it to the skirt. And that is that. You have to cut it out before you unpin the original pattern. Please note that if you are cutting on fabric, of course, you are going to put your seam allowances. And here I cut exactly. You can notice that the dress has ease. So you know my regular way of adding ease before adding my seam allowance. I mean by the side, okay? You can add like 1 inch ease before you add your seam allowance by the side. I hope you understand. And also in front, you mark your zipper allowance. Here I'm just marking my darts. Okay, you will also note your bust point. That is what I'm describing here. I used my office pin to push it through so that I will just mark easily where the bust point is. Okay, use whichever method is okay for you to mark the bust point. I'm marking the waistline here. I just marked the waistline, and yeah, this is the pattern I have for the front. I'm just going ahead to make the side bust dart more visible. Ensure that you stop it before the bust point while stitching. Okay, this is the waistline. This is just the waistline. We don't need the waist dart, but if you want the dart to show a bit like the curvy nature, you can take half of your dart intake on the side waist there. Yeah, that is what I'm showing here. If you want your dress to be even more shapy, because this dress doesn't have a dart, you can go ahead and take out half of your dart intake. Like if your dart intake is 1, you can take out just half. Because of how box fitted this dress is, you don't need to take out all the darts. Mind you, you are going to still add ease to the side of this dress. Please, ease is different from seam allowance. Ease is different from seam allowance. Okay, so now is the back that I am illustrating here. You know that this is a miniature form. Okay, so the measurement of a miniature form, that is what I used to illustrate this. Okay, even what I put by the side, that is about 2 1/4 inches. In the real sense, you should add about 4 inches. I will explain more as I'm doing this one so that you know what typical of it is like. Now I just measured from waist to hem. Here is still 7. You mark your 7. Now it's about 2.5 inches away. In the real sense of it, is going to be about 4.5 to 5 inches away from the sideline. I hope you understand. Still connect to your waist like so and blend just the way I'm blending it. It's just the same thing. Okay, just use the measurements that you have for your pattern. So even from the waist to the hem is definitely not going to be 7. You know that this is also a miniature form. Just take what measurements you got and use it. Okay, here I'm just taking out half of the dart also. That is if you want it shapy, but if you don't need it that shapy, you don't need to do it. You can leave it like so, because the little belt sort of rope that will be on the waist is just going to put everything in order. But if that is what you want, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so here I am cutting it off, and yeah, this is what I have. Mind you that there is no seam allowance on this. There is no seam allowance. You're going to add your seam allowances, and don't forget to add your ease by the side, about 1 inch ease by the side of this pattern before you add your sewing allowance to the side. I hope you understand. So this is what I have. I'm just going ahead to mark, notches. That there will not be stitched, of course. It's just for illustration. Now I'm just going ahead to draw my waistline, the waistline of this miniature front pattern. Yeah, so this is what we have for the front and for the back pattern, just like so. Okay, so know that you will be adding seam allowances all through. Do not forget to do this, very important. Okay, also add your ease to the side of your pattern. Now this is the pocket entry. Remember, if you want it to have a pocket, you're going to drop 2 inches, 2 inches in the real sense of it, please. You're going to drop 2 inches on your pattern. I mean real pattern. 2 inches, and then 6 inches dropping from this 2 inches to create your pocket entry. I can link up a video where you will see how this is achieved. Okay, I'll put up a video where you will see how a pocket can be. No, what I mean is I will link it up in the description box where you can see how a pocket is done, so that you'll be clear with all this. See the outcome and you can see how beautiful it is. It's just that I went in more on the side of the neck. That is how my client wants it. But in this, my illustration right now, I did not go in by the side of the neck. The side of the neck is exactly the way it is. I just dropped the front by 1 inch. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.